movable shelf can indeed have cords under a bottom shelf that is screwed down with cords running into it. However, several key considerations must be addressed to guarantee safety and proper functionality. Firstly, accessibility is paramount. Cords should be easily accessible for maintenance and replacement. It is wise to consider providing a port or an opening in the bottom shelf. This allows accessing the cords without needing to move the movable shelf, simplifying any future work. Secondly, safety is of utmost importance. Ensure that the cords are properly secured and protected from damage. Employ clips, cable ties, or conduits to maintain organization and prevent tripping hazards. A well-managed cord system minimizes potential risks. Thirdly, weight distribution needs careful attention. The weight of the movable shelf and any items placed upon it should be evenly distributed across the quads. Verify that the quads possess the necessary strength to support the total weight without buckling or compromising stability. Fourthly, stability is key. The bottom shelf should be firmly screwed down to ensure overall stability. The movable shelf should be designed to slide smoothly on the quads, avoiding wobbling or any form of instability that could lead to accidents. Fifthly, adequate clearance must be maintained. Verify that there is sufficient clearance between the bottom shelf and the floor. This clearance ensures the movable shelf can slide freely without obstruction. Sixthly, cord management should be carefully planned. Plan the cord routing meticulously to avoid tangles and potential safety hazards. Employ cord organizers or cable trays to maintain a tidy and well-ordered cord arrangement. Seventhly, electrical code compliance is essential. Always adhere to local electrical codes. Consulting with a qualified electrician is crucial to guarantee that the electrical setup is safe and fully compliant with all code requirements. These guidelines are designed to promote a safe and functional installation. It is critical to prioritize safety. Therefore, seek professional guidance when dealing with electrical systems. In addition, consider the type of cords being used. Power cords, data cables, and communication wires each have specific requirements. Power cords, for instance, must adhere to amperage and voltage ratings. They also need proper insulation to prevent electrical shocks. Data cables, like Ethernet or Universal Serial Bus or USB cables, are susceptible to damage if bent excessively. Fiber optic cables are even more sensitive. Consider using flexible conduits or cable carriers to protect the cord as the shelf moves. These conduits should be non-metallic. Using metal conduits can create a potential ground loop or electrical interference. Ground loops can introduce noise into sensitive electronic equipment. They can create safety hazards in some instances. Proper grounding techniques should be implemented. Verify that the bottom shelf is adequately grounded. This prevents static electricity buildup. Static electricity can damage electronic components. Also consider the environment where the shelf will be used. In damp or wet locations, use water-resistant or waterproof enclosures for the electrical connections. This will prevent corrosion and short circuits. Ensure that any electrical boxes or outlets used are rated for the intended environment. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides guidelines for electrical installations in various environments. Consult with Article 300.5 regarding underground installations. See Article 310.15 for conductor ampacity. Refer to Article 400 regarding flexible cords and cables. Always use appropriately rated cords and cables for the intended application. Avoid using extension cords as permanent wiring. Extension cords are intended for temporary use. Permanent wiring should be installed by a qualified electrician. When running cords through walls or floors, use appropriate bushings or grommets to protect the cords from abrasion. Abrasion can damage the insulation and create a fire hazard. Consider using cable management accessories such as cable ties, Velcro straps, and cord organizers. These accessories will help keep the cords neat and organized. They also prevent the cords from becoming tangled or creating a tripping hazard. Periodically inspect the cords and connections for any signs of damage. Look for frayed insulation, loose connections, and signs of overheating. Replace any damaged cords or connections immediately. Overheating is a serious safety concern. It can lead to electrical fires. Therefore, promptly address any signs of overheating. When working with electrical systems, always disconnect the power before beginning any work. Use appropriate lockout-tagout procedures to prevent accidental energization of the circuit. Lockout-tagout procedures ensure that the circuit remains energized while work is being performed. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA, has specific regulations regarding lockout-tagout procedures. Follow these regulations to prevent accidents and injuries. In addition to electrical safety, consider the ergonomic aspects of the movable shelf. Ensure that the shelf is at a comfortable height for the user. This will help prevent strain and fatigue. Provide adequate lighting to improve visibility and reduce the risk of accidents. Proper lighting is especially important when working with electrical equipment. Use task lighting to illuminate the work area. This will help you see the cords and connections more clearly. Choose light fixtures that are appropriate for the environment. In damp or wet locations, use waterproof light fixtures. When planning the cord routing, consider the potential for future expansion. Provide extra capacity for additional cords or equipment. This will make it easier to add new equipment in the future. Use modular cord management systems that can be easily expanded or reconfigured as needed. Consider using wireless technology to reduce the number of cords. Wireless technology can eliminate the need for some cords. This can simplify the cord management and improve the overall appearance of the installation. However, wireless technology may not be suitable for all applications. Consider the security implications of using wireless technology. Wireless signals can be intercepted by unauthorized users. Use appropriate security measures to protect sensitive data. When selecting quads for the movable shelf, consider the weight capacity, durability, and ease of movement. Choose quads that are rated for the total weight of the shelf and its contents. Select durable quads that can withstand the rigors of daily use. Choose quads that move smoothly and easily. This will make it easier to move the shelf. Consider using locking quads to prevent the shelf from rolling away. Locking quads provide added stability and safety. Regularly inspect the quads for any signs of wear or damage. Replace any damaged quads immediately. Damaged quads can compromise the stability of the shelf. In addition to the mechanical and electrical aspects, consider the aesthetic appearance of the installation. Hide the cords and connections as much as possible. Use cable concealers or raceways to hide the cords. Paint the cable concealers or raceways to match the surrounding decor. This will help to create a clean and professional appearance. When running cords through walls or ceilings, use fire-rated cable. Fire-rated cable is designed to prevent the spread of fire. This is especially important in commercial buildings. Always consult with a qualified electrician or building inspector to ensure that the installation meets all applicable codes and regulations. Building codes vary depending on the location. It is important to comply with all applicable codes and regulations. Failure to comply with building codes can result in fines or other penalties. Keep a record of all electrical work performed in the movable shelf. This record should include the date of the work, the name of the electrician who performed the work, and a description of the work that was performed. This record will be helpful for future maintenance and repairs. When disposing of old cords or electrical equipment, follow all applicable regulations. Do not simply throw them in the trash. Electrical equipment contains hazardous materials that can contaminate the environment. Recycle old cords and electrical equipment at a designated recycling facility. In summary, implementing quads under a screwed-down bottom shelf for a movable shelf with cords requires careful planning and execution. Attention to accessibility, safety, weight distribution, stability, clearance, cord management, and electrical code compliance is critical. By addressing these considerations, you can create a safe, functional, and aesthetically pleasing installation. Regular inspection and maintenance are essential to ensure continued safety and performance. Seeking guidance from qualified professionals is always recommended when dealing with electrical systems. These practices combined will minimize risks and maximize the utility of your movable shelf setup.